On the afternoon of Wednesday, June 25, 2025, the skies over Edmonton, Alberta, transformed from a tranquil summer blue into a roiling canvas of dark, ominous clouds. What began as a humid, slightly overcast day quickly escalated into one of the most intense weather events the region had seen in recent years. A severe thunderstorm accompanied by a barrage of hailstones and torrential rain that left residents stunned and scrambling for cover. The morning hours in Edmonton were deceptively calm. Temperatures hovered around 22 degrees Celsius, 72 degrees Fahrenheit, with a light breeze and intermittent sunshine. However, meteorologists had been closely monitoring atmospheric conditions since early that week. A low-pressure system moving in from the Pacific had collided with a warm, moisture-laden air mass over central Alberta, creating a volatile environment ripe for severe weather development. By midday, Environment Canada had issued severe thunderstorm warnings for Edmonton and surrounding areas, including St. Albert and Sherwood Park. The alerts warned of the potential for nickel-sized hail, wind gusts exceeding 90 kilometers per hour, and heavy rainfall capable of causing flash flooding. Shortly after 2 p.m., the first signs of the storm's arrival became evident. A wall of dark cumulonimbus clouds advanced from the west, casting an eerie twilight over the city. Thunder rumbled in the distance, growing louder with each passing minute. Then, without much warning, the skies opened. Sheets of rain poured down with astonishing intensity, reducing visibility to mere meters. Within minutes, streets began to flood, and storm drains struggled to keep up with the deluge. The rain was soon joined by hailstones, some as large as nickels, pelting rooftops, vehicles, and gardens with relentless force. The sound of hail striking windows and metal surfaces echoed through neighborhoods, a chilling percussion that underscored the storm's ferocity. Lightning forked across the sky in rapid succession, illuminating the storm clouds in ghostly flashes. Thunderclaps followed almost instantaneously, indicating that the storm cell was directly overhead. Power flickered in several districts, and some areas experienced brief outages as lightning struck transformers and power lines. The storm's impact was swift and widespread. In downtown Edmonton, traffic ground to a halt as drivers pulled over to wait out the worst of the weather. Public transit services were delayed, and several bus routes were temporarily suspended due to flooding and debris on the roads. In residential neighborhoods, hail shattered skylights and dented vehicles parked outdoors. Gardeners lamented the destruction of summer blooms and vegetable patches, while homeowners rushed to secure patio furniture and cover vulnerable windows. Emergency services responded to dozens of calls, ranging from minor traffic accidents to reports of flooded basements and downed power lines. Fortunately, no serious injuries were reported, though authorities urged residents to remain indoors and avoid unnecessary travel until the storm passed. This storm was not an isolated incident. It was part of a broader pattern of severe weather that had been affecting the western prairies throughout the week. Meteorologists noted that the atmospheric setup, characterized by high instability, abundant moisture, and strong wind shear, was particularly conducive to the formation of supercell thunderstorms, which are capable of producing large hail, damaging winds, and even tornadoes. Indeed, tornado watches were issued for parts of east central Alberta on the same day, though no confirmed touchdowns occurred near Edmonton. The storm system that struck the city was one of several cells that developed along a frontal boundary stretching from the foothills to the Saskatchewan border. By early evening, the storm had moved eastward, leaving behind a trail of waterlogged streets, battered vehicles, and shaken residents. The skies began to clear, revealing a dramatic sunset that painted the clouds in hues of orange and crimson, a surreal contrast to the chaos that had unfolded just hours earlier. City crews were dispatched to clear debris and assess damage, while insurance companies braced for a wave of claims related to hail and water damage. Environment Canada continued to monitor the situation, warning that additional storms could develop in the coming days. Severe thunderstorms are expected to impact large areas of Alberta and Saskatchewan on Wednesday and Thursday, with additional strong storms shifting into Manitoba later in the week as well. These storms threaten powerful wind gusts between 90-100 plus km/h, as well as the potential for large hail ranging from 2 to 4 centimeters in size. Severe thunderstorms can contain updrafts of 120-150 plus km/h, which are usually sufficient to support the weight of large, damaging hail. Supercell thunderstorms can pack updrafts of more than 200 kilometers per hour, which can support hail the size of baseballs or even larger. While Wednesday saw large parts of the prairies under threat of severe thunderstorms and tornado warnings, Thursday will see a slight reduction in the scale of the storms. The thunderstorm risk will remain across Alberta and Saskatchewan, extending to include northern Manitoba. Widespread scattered showers will continue across all 3 provinces, with storms expected to begin in the late afternoon and continue east throughout the evening. The potential for severe weather shifts further east in Saskatchewan, while hail sizes of 2 to 4 centimeters and wind gusts exceeding 90 kilometers per hour remain possible with both isolated and linear storm systems. The environment is also set up for a chance of rotating storms across southern Saskatchewan closer to dinner time, but the main hazard still seems to be strong winds and large hail. Going into Friday, we'll begin to see some of the highest amounts of thunderstorm energy that we've seen all week build up in southern Manitoba and southeastern Saskatchewan. This means storms that could trigger may not have much stopping them from becoming severe. We will also see widespread risk for isolated thunderstorms, including Alberta's foothill hailers, continue into Friday. The same trough that brought widespread thunderstorms Wednesday will move east into southeastern Saskatchewan, tracking into southwestern Manitoba. Mixed with the juicy atmosphere, it'll trigger severe thunderstorms between Estevan, Alberta, all the way to Brandon, Manitoba. 2 to 4 centimeters hail and 90 to 100 kilometers per hour winds are expected to continue during Friday's storms. Forecasters are monitoring the risk of a rotating storm along the Canada-United States border, so it will be important to stay updated on the evolving weather conditions. After a rather chilly start to the week, temperatures will trend back to near seasonal by late week. A warmer pattern will develop next week, with above-seasonal temperatures forecast for early July. Western areas are expected to see a few days of drier weather early next week. However, Alberta is likely to experience unsettled, stormy conditions during the latter half of the week.